Hello again everybody, back with another video. This one I'm calling the Seoul, South Korea Crowd Crush. And we've got a C for 33. For masonry, there's another mirror image of a word here. I think you can work out what that says, but we've got this thing here called the Hamilton Hotel, and we've got an alleyway you can't see that runs up here where allegedly 156 people got crushed to death. But the story seems hard to believe, and I'll explain why as we move on. So at least, this one says at least 153 killed in the Halloween crowd crush. There's our CC for 33. Here's a few bodies laid out, not anywhere near 150, but they must have had little lots of these all round the area to make up for the amount of people who allegedly died. And if we look at the date, 29th of October 2022, I think it was a Saturday, we've got in English ordinal 113 for 11 threes for 33. Now this was taken on the Sunday, and there's all the regimented flowers out. Obviously, you know, they're all the same flowers. It's not individual flowers. This has all been set up, and whatever these are, I don't know, drinks for them, and don't know. But this was taken, and it was specified as October the 30th, and the 30th of October 2020 is 114 in English ordinal for 11 fours for 44. The kill number or death doors, and it's 66 in Chaldean, and 66 is 33, and so is 33 is 156, which is 666. So all these numbers interlink, and I'm starting to realise more and more how much these numbers interlink and how wrong I've been focusing on certain things. 666, 777, 33, 911. And then the geometric codes are incredibly important, and lots of the numbers are linked to those. So this one's here, and it's talking about my heart is broken, South Koreans flock, memorials mourn Halloween crowd, victims surge. And if we look at this, here we've got 154 killed and 149 injured. Add those up, we get 303. Forget the zero, we've got 33. And 33 of them were in a serious condition. So another 33. And here's some more bodies laid out. Notice that they've all lost their shoes. And also notice we've got these, are they yellow or are they orange for masonry for 33. But look what they've got on them. They've got a B symbol, just like they did in the event at Manchester Arena, where they started putting the Manchester B signs everywhere after that. But look at this. This symbol in masonry of the beehive is a very ancient one. It represents the working lodge. 7, lo and behold, the number 7. Bees are usually seen flying around the hive, 7 being the number to make a perfect lodge. That's a Freemason lodge. And you just think some of the jobs they've done at covering these up. This guy's got his watch out, toes curled round. I don't know. Just look at this. To have these being orange tails with bees on, just ready to put over the victims, is pretty amazing, with the symbolism links too. Now, just taking a look at some of the photos, we've got all these people in this sloping down alley here, and can you see 150 here? I can see, maybe if I add them up, maybe 40 to 50. This one's, you know, the little, I don't know if this is a Twitter one, South Korea crowd stampede. But can you see 150? And what's happening back past these guys? What are these guys doing? Are they all jammed in and they're trying to drag them out. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I've been exiting football stadiums. I don't watch any football these days, but where you've gone through narrow alleyways and people have been pushing. Yes, it gets a little bit scary sometimes, but I've never seen anybody crushed. But where you got all these people out enjoying themselves, for some reason, they all decided to push and crush people. But this one makes it a little bit more obvious. So these people in here are being crushed to death. What are these people doing here? Are they all jammed in? Are they trying to pull them out? And look at this guy and these. They've got... What are these guys doing? And of course we got our bricks here for masonry, well on show. I mean, does it make sense to you that these people are being crushed? What are these doing? Can't they just move out of the way and let them walk out and alleviate the crush behind? And surely these people, if all these people were pushing down, wouldn't just be able to stand here and watch. What on earth is going on? So let's have a look where it was. So this is the alleyway here, and this is the Hamilton Shopping Centre, which holds the Hamilton Hotel. Now I've heard Christian Resurrection, I've heard Jungle Surfer talk about the Hamiltons and what a kind of key code that is. I'll have a look into that later. Here's another view of it where we've got this Itaewon is the area, which is very interesting because Itaewon in Pythagorean or full reduction is 33 for masonry, would you believe? What a coincidence. Yeah, now obviously they must have this every year, but it's never happened before, but it just so happened this year. And this is where those guys were in a row trying to pull the crowd out. So let's just have a look at this alleyway. I've taken this off Google Maps and I've expanded it, looked at the scale. This alleyway is about 50 metres long at the most and about 5 metres wide. So say 250 square metres in volume. If we take an average human height for a South Korea person is about 1.7 metres. Lying side by side, you could get about 6 people with a width of say 0.83 metres per person. So the area occupied by one person is 1.41 metres squared. If you lay everybody down, all packed together head to toe, side by side, you could get lying down about 177 people in here. And eventually 156 were crushed to death. Well, to me, and they only showed you a smaller section of this, that would be an enormous amount of people to die in an alleyway. Usually when crowds get restricted, the speed slows down, and then as people exit, obviously the speed increases. I just don't get this. It just seems an enormous amount of bodies for this area, and just to kind of show that. And of course we got these people, but I don't know, does South Korean people put all this litter down? Obviously they picked all the pairs of shoes up that the victims didn't have on their feet by now. But I know this is a telephoto lens and it shortens it a lot, but I'll just put some people in there based on the scale of these people here, these policemen here, and the scale coming up in terms of size. And let's put some people in. So yes, I know this is a telephoto lens and it compresses, but just want to give you the idea of how many people would have been crushed to death. That's 48 people I've just put in there. Yeah, so how believable is this? Anyway, so here's another view of it. Here's 3 people in this alleyway. Why would you get crushed coming down there? Why would you? You know, it makes to me no sense. But basically these 3 people, 50 times more than this, got crushed to death in this alleyway. It makes no sense, does it? But anyway, it's next to Kentucky Fried Chicken. And Kentucky Fried Chicken is 72 in Chaldean. And 777 is 72 in Chaldean. So we've got a 777 code there. 777 is a big code like 666, maybe not as big, but it's pretty big. And we've got the Hamilton Shopping Centre, obviously spelled different here, ER rather than RE as we would in the UK, but that's 117 full reduction, Pythagorean reverse ordinal is 333 and reverse reduction is 108. 108 is the pentagon internal angle, which is quite a geometric number that's used a lot. But I reckon 117 is 777 because 777 is 333 in English ordinal. A is 1, Z is 26. Full reduction is 117. So you see this here. And then we've got this other one. I see quite a lot. 118s or 88s, 11/8s. Chaldean 777 code. Very interesting to me how it all comes back to 666, 777, 911, 33, and then the geometric codes. Most codes lead back to that. And just a little bit, please comment on this KR if you can, but just a little bit about Hamilton. Now, this lodge in Hamilton, Kilwinning in Scotland is one of the oldest lodges in Scotland, and Scotland being the home of the Scottish rites of Freemasonry, where you raise to the level of the very senior position as a 33-degree Mason. But this is quite a famous lodge, and of course it's number 7. So, you know, is that somehow linked to Hamilton? And then we've got in Canada, Hamilton, Canada, we've got this very, very old kind of building here. And this building in Hamilton is owned by the Scottish Rite Club of Hamilton. Now, I don't know all the links. I know there's families with Hamilton names and things like that maybe have things to do with Freemasonry, but Hamilton seems to be a fairly key name. I know it's kind of linked to Freemasonry in a big way, but lo and behold, it was next to the Hamilton Hotel, this event, and the Hamilton Shopping Centre. Now, another thing is eventually the death toll rises to this number here, 156. And 156 is 666, and 156 is 33. And lo and behold, shoes is 66, which is 33 again. And in full reduction is 21, 4, 3 sevens for 777. Very interesting that that number comes up. Now, this is again linked to the items that were found and also the deaths and injuries. So eventually there were 156 deaths and 151 injuries. As those numbers up, we get 307 for 3 sevens for 777. And look at this, we've got 256 pairs of shoes. So nearly everybody lost the shoes for some reason. And so all but 51 people out of the 307 dead and injured lost both pairs of shoes, both sets of shoes. 83% of that. Why? Why would you lose all your shoes? Is there something about, or did they just take them off and throw them down, then the police came and found them? Does that make sense? And 256 is 16 by 16, which of course could be 777 code. And look how many electric items were found. 156 again. This is in your face, 666 code. And it does get better than this, because the last Ascension Day, this is the day that commemorates Jesus Christ's ascension into heaven, was the 26th of May 2022. Now, if we look at the dates between the 26th and the days between the 26th of May 2022 and this incident, the 29th of October 2020, we get, lo and behold, 156 days. And 156 is 666, and it's also 33. Do you believe that's a coincidence? Well, we're looking at, again, related to biblical type things. Now, this day does change, but the last one was the 26th of May 2022. Now, if we look at Ascension Day in 2021, that was the 10th of June. And if we look at the dates to the 29th of the 10th, 2022, with the CC for 33 crowd crush, we get 506 days. So forget the 0, we've got a 56. 56 is 7 times 7 plus 7. 56 is 911. And 911 is the 156th prime number. 56 is 156. So there's our 156 again. Yeah, so 156 is 56 in full reduction or Pythagorean. Of course, 666 is 156. And if we look at 56, it's 118. So there's that link again to 777 and 88. And of course, as I said, 777 is 118. Do you see this pattern and how these key numbers all interlink? I used to think they were all separate codes, but I'm starting to realise there's only a few key codes and all these things interlink. But this number here, the 666, especially when it relates to biblical dates and things like that, is so prevalent at the moment. So that's all I've got to say on this one. If you, obviously that word that I didn't read that was a mirror image, you can work out what I think of this. What the reason is, I have no idea. I know it's linked to that Ascension Day with a 666 code. Maybe it's to restrict people's freedoms of movement in the capital of South Korea. Maybe it's that. Who knows? Maybe it's just to scare everybody every time they get in a crowd. But there are reasons for everything, and they're all clearly pre-planned. And this has probably been planned for years. So that's all I've got to say for now. So I'll say thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and goodbye.